Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. No, I'm not wearing any green right now. I might come back on and do a special Celtic message. I'm going to do Celtic Cross today, though, for the cards. Even the seed of the tree of life had to be planted in darkness. Yes, we are coming into gardening season. Expect the gardening metaphors to start, right? How much work it is. Talk about disconnection with food and stuff lately, and it really comes down to the disconnect that we have with our food. Like, for a substantial amount of human existence, through multiple civilization rises and collapses, 99% of our efforts on a daily basis were just obtaining, maintaining, and preserving food, right? And we have a major disconnect. Like, oh, I got it. That'd be great for St. Patty's Day. Why do we eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day? Well, that's actually not really a true traditional Irish dish. The corned beef was made from cows in Ireland. Like, this was an especially big thing because of the way the grass is there. It's different than anywhere else in the world. And they would make this corned beef, which was just salted meat. It became very, very popular in Europe, and it was during those times where, like, they were kind of taking over Ireland and stuff like that. So they started producing the corned beef, like, they started taking it over, making the Irish produce it for everybody else. But the corned beef became so expensive that the Irish couldn't eat it themselves. And they were going through shit like famines and everything else while all this is going on. So there was the huge migration of the Irish and Scotch Irish to America in the 1700s to get away from all of this. And when they got here and they experienced prosperity to celebrate their patron saint on St. Patrick's Day, they essentially make corned beef and cabbage as a way to say, screw you to the English, now we can afford beef from our own country type deal. Make sense? I got one day we are going to melt the faces off the universe, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Get the gardening energy here. There's definitely, this is a twin flame card for sure. All right, one day we're going to melt the faces off the universe. It was something said in a moment of release. You know what I'm saying? It's like, not this lifetime, because unfortunately it really is kind of rare for twins to genuinely come together. There's a reason that there's like this cap number on the, the 144 and stuff like that, But the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. With this planting card, I'm just picking up a very strong energy of somebody who keeps planting seeds of intentions and then doing the same thing over and over again, right? It's like that person who's always got a garden but never produces any fruit from it. Why? Because they're making the same mistakes. They're doing literally the same thing year after year, and they don't understand because you got to figure out what it is. Right? I also get the energy of when a plant is struggling to flourish, to bloom, we don't blame the plant because it can't bloom. We try to figure out what's wrong in the environment with the plant that's causing it not to bloom. We got 9. We got persistence and resilience here. We got the sun. Something's really being lit up and exposed. We've got Capricorn. This is going to have to do something with toxic cycles, change, and connection. We've got intuition. We've got harvest. Seeds have been planted, and we've got rings of communication. Alright, so all of this is surrounding communication. There's something about intuition and communication. What do we got here? Star hiding there at the bottom under another shell. I get the energy. Yeah. There's definitely some strong energy of being divinely guided right now. What am I looking for? Get our shadow. What's the shadow today? I'd also like to point out too that March 15th is also considered a new year, right? That's a new year, like back in the day before the Gregorian calendar. March 15th was the Ides of March. That was when the Romans would clear all debts, all financial debts. You would meet up, and that's when they would have their Senate meetings and everything else like that. And that's when beware, beware the Ides of March for when Caesar got stabbed. That's what they were there to do. It was a government meeting to settle debts for the government. I got sleep perchance to dream. Sleep perchance to dream. Someone is, like I said, sleeping a lot, right? It's the energy of the depressive energy where you can't get out of bed type of energy, right? But there's definitely some lotus unfoldment here. I'm taking up the energy that somebody might have actually, like, they might not have even meant to slip into, like, but doing this perchance to dream, they could have actually kind of gotten really into doing things like astral travel, super deep meditation, lucid dreaming, things like that became very, like, kind of, get addicted energy to doing that. The escapism of it, right? We also got the lotus flower and unfoldment here. That has the message I always get with the Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monks there. They always talk about how the lotus seed, and it's another one, a lotus cannot bloom in a garden built for a rose, right? It has to start in the mud. It has to start in the muck. It has to, like, kind of drop into the soil, the seed drops through the water from the flower, in fall, and then it goes into the mud, and then it freezes all winter long, and then in the spring it starts to sprout. I always say they pop open, roots first, right? And then you sprout up, within, so without, and you sprout up, and you got to go up through the mud and the muck, and then you have to go through all that waters, and that's all emotions and things like that in order to break through the surface. Break through the surface of that and bloom. Yeah. I'm going with my labyrinth cards today. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. Our classic favorites. The numero uno in the tarot community. You know what? I should just start doing tarot crosses, the crosses again. Because when I first started, everybody did the cross because it's the most basic tarot layout, but nobody really does it anymore. I haven't seen anybody else do a traditional Celtic cross in the longest time. Whew. It's a little tight on my desk. I gotta figure out a new setup. I need more space. I need y'all to back up. I'm playing. Getting myself in trouble with that. Interesting. We definitely have an energy here. Someone is in the hangman position, right? I love it. We got Ludo here. Poor Ludo. Right? He's like the Forrest Gump of that movie. He's just stumbling along. He disappears in a couple of parts. He's found tied up and they're just torturing him for no reason other than he's big and he's scary looking. Right, so we have the underlying energy of this person is definitely feeling tied up and feeling strung up. I'm feeling that energy that they definitely went through something like that, right? I get the goblins around them biting them and poking at them, right? So this could be a big lug of a person, or they could just have that kind of personality, you know what I'm talking about? They definitely have this outer exterior, though, of the Knight of Poles. So this person, their inner child, like, it's like the opposite. Like, their inner child is really like the big lug energy that's all like bound up in the back, right? This very innocent energy. And then up front is the Knight of Poles energy, right? Oh, King of Poles, my bad. King of Poles. Okay, so even bigger. I was about to say, Knight of Poles usually comes with that big D energy, but, you know, the King of Poles is kind of, he's the personification of that. Look, even where the lizard is. I got a lizard in my pocket. Why the hell is that song popping up in my head? Okay, so we definitely got somebody who could be, I get, kind of goofy, kind of childish, like, right? I definitely get that kind of kid energy going on with this person. This person is surrounded by poles, okay? He's got the 7 of poles below him, the 3 of poles above him. He's got the 5 of poles and the 6 of poles. A lot of conflict around this person, like I said, with the picking and the biting and the picking and the biting, and it's like, I think the humor is kind of to be disarming. It's a defense mechanism that they do. Just laugh it off, it'll be all right type of energy. But there is a lot of conflict around this person. And I get the energy that this person oftentimes feels, and that's why I'm saying that they do this humor to disarm people, because they're scared to defend themselves. They're genuinely actually afraid to defend themselves, right? There's a high priestess who's been watching this, right? There's definitely the outside perspective is a high priestess looking in on this, like, dude, you know, like they see this, right? They see this, and I think the person sees this too, because you got the Knight of Feathers over here as well, right? Like sitting in his armor, he's like, I know what it is. Like I understand what it is myself. Like I know, right? They're trying to make a decision, and I get that energy of, like, right, especially with this card, it's the energy, it's like, what? Well, I keep trying to get out of this situation, and, like, even when I go through the trouble and I think I'm so slick that I'm going to use, you know, I'm going to make markers and leave trails, right? And every time I leave a trail, somebody fucking comes and messes with my marks. They're messing with my marks. It's not fair. It's not fair, right? But there's still this energy of having to keep going, because the outcome is union. Whatever's going on with this, the outcome is union. Let's see. 8 of Pentacles. There's something, like I said, with the harvest rune there too. There's something that's already, seeds have already been planted. I get the energy that seeds were planted end of summer, fall last year. Whatever it is. I get that it's a cycle, with the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. I get literally some sort of cycle has already played out twice now, at least. Alright. So we definitely have the 4 of Pentacles here, 8 of Swords. We got an entrapped in energy here. Somebody feels entrapped here. They've accepted, like, there's a lot of truth in this situation. Like, what's caused the change here is definitely a shift in, they're finding balance with this truth that they've received, right? This energy of, like, I get that awakening energy of recognizing that the patterns of the cycles of the things like that, since we had that going on there. They're super focused. I got this Page of Pots here, right? Whenever I see this one, I always feel like this is this very young energy that's within this encompassing. And it could be this person's inner child. You can make them feel like a child. It's that Page of Cups. But in this deck, I always picture, it always, for me, it looks like one of the little, like, it would look like a little kid that was following the other suits around, right? He can't really see. He's just got like the little spikes on his head for defense. That's all he's got. He's like kind of walking like he's trying to be macho. This person feels like they can't release old energies, right? This could be somebody who has kids, who has that soul contract going on. You unfortunately, I'm going to say this, you can do a lot of things, right? You could literally block the person and never talk to them again. You know what I'm saying? Like, once your kids are grown, you could just block them and never talk to them again. But you literally mixed DNA and created, you mixed two sparks and made another spark, and now that contract is there. Like, you've contracted yourself in, right? Like, you can't, that is like it's one blood, contract you can't break. Your energies will always be connected because they'll always be connected through the sparks that you created, right? So there is this energy of not being able to release here. From the outside looking in, though, somebody sees the Ten of Pentacles. Despite all the drama and everything else like that, somebody still sees this person as the Ten of Pentacles. But there's an issue here. The reason that this person is lost, is the world is open to this person. I get the energy now at the end of that last ring, right? And we got the party goblins. We got the party goblins here. What did I say with that Capricorn energy, right? So I got the energy of it's not fair, it's not fair. Somebody always messes it up. Somebody always messes with my thing. Somebody always screws with the plan, and that's why I can't never get ahead. It's like one of those people that always has a problem for every fucking solution, right? It's like, and they're to the point where they're like, I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna stay on the outside, right? I'm just gonna hang out with the party goblins, right? Meanwhile, it's like the reason you can't see where the fuck you're going is because you hang out with party goblins. There's something about these goblins that are causing the issue, right? Let's see what's going on with these goblins. Get our snitches out. Since we picked up on that energy. Let's see what our little sparks have to say. There we go. What's going on with these party goblins? They're causing conflict. Someone's very passionate in a very toxic way with this connection. They won't give any space. There's some sort of judgment that's being made. There's some sort of judgment being made, and there's a very, very confused child here. I got a Page of Pentacles, right? There's a very, very confused child here. Something going on here. It's coming out into the light. The Wheel of Fortune here. Someone's definitely been in the point of compression, right? Darkness, seed, frozen under the earth, oppressed. Ten of Cups. This is not a happy home. This is not a happy home. Ace of Swords. There's no victory with this situation. Ooh, somebody's down. That's why they're escaping so much. Something's up with this. And they're allowing people to help them escape like this. Something's up. Oh, Page of Cups reversed. Eight of Swords reversed. Yeah, it's toxic love that's got them imprisoned here. It's not love. It's just this person's giving them something so that they could, the Emperor reversed, they can escape. Someone could be falling off the wagon here. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Now this is what the goblin energies seem, right? I'm scared that there's a death coming here. There's someone, a Knight of Pentacles, who's been lying about money, lying a lot about money. This cycle's getting ready to come to an end. Yeah, I got the Sun reversed now. Something's going to come out into the light. It's not going to be good for somebody. I got a Hermit who's surrounded by toxic people. They're draining them of all their resources and their monies. This foundation is faulty. I get whatever is going on. I get there's a lot of Pentacles. And it's a reverse Knight of Cups at the end here. I just oh, come on. The universe is pushing somebody. But the reason it is this hard right now is because you need to crack open. You need to crack open. Luckily, the universe has two ways of doing this. And usually if you crack open really fast, it's the destruction of whatever it is, right? You crack open an egg, whatever's inside it dies. You crack open a nut in order to eat the seed, right? Anything that cracks open by pressure artificially usually is dead. But because this person has gone through the blooming process, right? It's like the universe is like, okay, you've been buried. You've gone through, you've gone through the seasons underground. Your shell has softened up, and you're naturally developing a root. That's what the pressure. The pressure's from the inside, not the outside. That's the saying. If it breaks from the inside, it begins something when it breaks from the outside. That's why I said you need to crack open. This person needs to crack open here. Right, we got Ace of Cups. Operate from a genuine heart-based center. You got to open up your heart, right? I got a lot of closed-off heart energy. You need to open up your heart, right? There is justice that can be had. There's star guidance here, right? Who's giving you this star guidance? What? The connection that you've made. This person, this Empress here. Even if you're not in contact with your twin, their 5D self, right? It doesn't matter what's going on the 3D. The 5D selves don't really care. This is just a learning experience. It's a choose your own adventure down here, right? Get Temperance here. Reverse Page of Wands. Now, Temperance card did come out reversed at first here. Somebody needs to find balance. They could definitely have some sort of compulsive disorder for addictions, right? There's an energy of you need to drop your defenses, leave your past behind. Because you gotta accept the truth about this past here. About these past connections. I dropped a card. What do we got? Ten of Wands. Ooh, someone has a lot of burdens. You need to reprioritize your burdens here if you want to get past this. High Priestess, Six of Cups. King of Pentacles. Energy of reaping what you sow here. This masculine's definitely being watched by multiple feminines just by the way they're laid out. They're both like the Empress is looking at her over here. The High Priestess is looking at her over here. The High Priestess was in the original spread. So there's a lot of people that got their eye on this Empress and this King of Pentacles here. This person who likes to be in control, right? That daddy energy. But it's this energy of like, yeah, you gotta reap what you sow. Right, you gotta need to shake the toxic people out of your life. That's why the leaps are important. But you need to get out of wherever you're at. You need to get away from the people that you're with. Like, that's such a huge thing. And, like, you know, for recovery and stuff like that, is get away from your party goblin friends. But, and yeah, and you gotta be willing to make clear-cut boundaries with them, right? But yeah, see definitely the energy of people who are not healthy for you. Yeah, Knight of Swords to King of Swords. Right, there's an energy of you need to take action towards cutting people out of your life and then being mindful and being aware of who you allow back in to interfere with your connections, right? This is the whole fucking thing, is a lot of people get into these connections and you allow people from your past to keep playing you. And then your new partner is looking at you going, they're playing you. And you're just like, oh, but I, oh, but they, oh, but I don't understand why I can't get into, because you keep letting your old girlfriends fuck your life up, right? I don't care if they're your baby mama, they don't own you. You're not a pet. You know what I'm saying? Whatever responsibilities you have to deal with, you have to deal with, but there's only so much you seriously is your responsibility. And if you're so worried about your kids, then go get custody of them. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what else to say with that. Or at least try to. Right? You don't have to deal with them, and then when push comes to shove and your kids are grown, you can be like, look, here's all the paperwork where I tried to get you. You're the manifestor of your own reality. You just need to realize you have the strength too. Eight of Pentacles. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're thinking about the past all the time, guess what? You're sending in energetic signals to those people. Guess what happens to those people? They get starts and they get little glimpses of you everywhere, little synchronicities of you and songs that make them think of you. And they might not have equated that song to you in a long time, but because you're thinking about them so hard, bam, now all of a sudden they're going to be thinking about you. You're reinforcing these connections. I say that all the time about cutting cords with toxic people. You cannot cut a cord with somebody and then still stalk them on Facebook, or still stalk them on any social media, or watch them in any way, shape, or form, or still have their pictures in your cell phone. There is a reason that burning your ex's pictures is a thing. It always has been a thing. It's been a thing since that creation. You would draw a picture of them, make a doll of them before there was cameras. You know what I'm saying? Write their names down. Things like that was always important. Letters, words, symbols, things like that are important. Yeah. I hope that helps whoever needed that today. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. Shout out to my peeps in Savannah. Be careful on them steps tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later.